Hey guys, how's it going? This is double underscore here. When I went to the international tournament last year in Seattle, I bore the name of Insomniac Andrew, but I tossed that name away for now. Kind of more or less due to the reporting system. I don't really like that people can get reported so easily, so in order to maybe be less of a target to trolls, I just have a very short name and now it's double underscore. So anyways, I want to do a replay commentary of a couple of games. People don't realize how effective junglers can be if you play it a certain way, and you can even play a jungler as a support. That's actually what I was doing this game. I actually don't always jungle with Ursa, believe it or not, but that's basically what I did this game. But I also supported too. But you'll see what I mean as we watch the game. Now, I've also got another replay I'm going to show you guys afterwards, and that is a jungling with Enchantress too. And what I think some people just don't understand is that you don't have to stay in the jungle all game long, or even like for 5 minutes at a time or whatever. You can pop in and out as much as you want, as much as you feel comfortable with anyway. But certainly, if you see opportunities to help out the team, you definitely should, and you should keep active and looking around for that. I think that a lot of players don't realize this. So anyhow, I jumped into a single draft game, and I wasn't in a party with anybody. This was actually solo matchmaking, I believe. Although I think my Enchantress game was probably regular matchmaking. It didn't seem like there was any parties on either team, but I could be wrong. Anyway, whatever. For whatever reason today, like, pretty much every game was kinda garbage. Like, this was like the one decent game that I had all day, pretty much. In solo matchmaking, I mean. So I was like, screw that, I'm gonna play some regular matchmaking then. So I don't know what the deal is, like a whole bunch of people trying to ruin it or something for the rest of us. Because for the first week or two, it was kinda cool, but I don't know, on the weekends it got terrible. Like, it didn't even matter playing regular solo. On the weekends, it was just terrible all over. So let's speed through this. This is taking too long for everyone to pick their heroes. Yeah, it's single draft, so everyone's basically revealing what their 3 hero choices are. And they're all trying to decide, okay, what are you probably going to get? What are you able to get? So what am I going to get that's going to combo with that? So, kind of like, instead of captain's mode, people just taking their time with banning and picking. It's just like everyone just takes their time and then kind of picks all their heroes all at once eventually. Although at this rate, on our team, Queen of Pain is the first one to pick their hero. Everyone else is a little bit behind her. Well, they got 3 heroes. So we're kind of running out of time to pick. And then I go ahead and pick up my Ursa. Let's see, who else did I have available? There was some really solid heroes like Magnus and Shadow Demon, I believe. I went for Ursa because I'm just like that. I love Ursa. I'm not very comfortable playing Magnus in public games, primarily because I don't particularly like rushing Blink Dagger, although I know it's very effective. I'm not very good with Blink Dagger Magnus, to be honest. And I mean, I could still get it, and it could still be helpful. But, I mean, I'll probably get it, like, later on, and I just hate it when people rage at me for that. I feel like the popularity of certain heroes kind of ruins Dota for me sometimes. Like right now, I love Magnus. I actually like him more than Ursa. But I just can't play him because Magnus is too popular, and allies will always rage at me because I don't play him the way they think I should. And it's getting to be that way with Slark now. Now, allies are all trolling me about Slark again because he's getting to be kind of popular. So, Yeah, I probably won't be playing Slark for a while. At least not in regular games. In Captain's Mode games, sure, I'll play like whoever I want. But, yeah. It's probably only if I'm the captain, which I usually am when I play Captain's Mode games. If I'm not, then I'll just look for tips from the captain for the most part. So the first thing you want to make sure you do is check the rune point as a jungler. That's pretty important. You're probably going to want tangos. They're going to help, and if you're melee, you might as well get a stout shield. That's extremely effective. If you don't have... What I did is I actually bought up the courier. So in this way, I'm able to support the team. Because... And I'm not just going to wait for them to buy a courier and then be like, I don't have a courier to bring my items. So I just roll with it, you know. So we have a solo hardlane Venomancer, and that's fine and dandy. And you know what, to be honest, this is a pretty low skill level game, and my allies were noobs. But I think Elder Titan was pretty decent, for sure. I think the rest of them were like, yeah, whatever. But, so I think a lot of my opponents were not that great either, so whatever. So the interesting thing is, I'm starting off with, like, normally people would like, if they were going to play Ursa, probably what they would do is they'd want to random him, get the random cold, and then have their ally pick him. That way they could be, like, a lot closer to their Vlads. But I'm starting the game without a single item that will upgrade into Vlad's. And yeah, I'm still rocking this jungle, as you can see. Maybe not as effectively as I'd like to. And it's been a while since I played him, and as you can see, I'm like trying to figure out how am I supposed to die to this thing and buy up some items. It's like a tank and a clarity. And I'm like, oh, he won't kill me. So I dropped my stout shield. And Nyx apparently thought that was funny. And Venomancer was surprised. He's like, what's going on? And that's kind of odd that our solo hard lane didn't understand that you let yourself die in order to save yourself time. And the Elder Titan actually responded that, so that was cool. He actually knew about that, but Venomancer didn't. Interestingly enough, Elder, Queen, and Windrunner were all just typing. They didn't have voice chat, or they weren't using it. As for Venomancer, he was using voice chat. So I was using voice chat, obviously. And, as we can see, Queen doesn't quite have her bottle just yet. But there she picks it up. She said her bottle might be a little slow because she bought kind of the wrong items. Maybe she didn't mean to buy 2 mantles. That could have been it. She probably just bought like the starting items. Maybe it was supposed to load for custom build or something. I don't know. But whatever the case, looks like she didn't get what she wanted. So I actually go over to her and drop those tangos and pinged it for her. And I came over to check to see what was going on. I kind of wanted to see if do the opponents have observer wards here. And as I was wandering around here, they seemed to be really avoiding me, despite the fact that there were 3 of them. And I thought that was really interesting that they were that scared of me. But it definitely seemed like I wanted to see what was going on, and I got to know. So that's cool, you know. Now she's massing up these things, but she doesn't seem to realize that she's denying herself golden experience by charming these. Maybe she was hoping that I would stick around and she'd fight me with these. But if that's the case, she lost out, because I didn't hang around. I knew that since they were avoiding me, they must have been planning something big, so I got out of there. So at this point, I could probably just pretty much kill myself again. Problem is, there's still this level 1 creep here. So I was like, eh, whatever.
Missing top.
Ugh. So as you can see, I eventually dropped the clarity potion and she was able to use it. I think I'm going too fast for you, but I assure you I did. Supposed to be a ping showing up. It doesn't show you the ally chat, unfortunately. So I come here to see what's going on. Unfortunately, there are too many enemies to deal with, and I'm pretty low. If it was just Spirit Breaker, I would have risked attacking him. But Kunkka there too, there's no way. So I got out of there. So you want to keep buying up your Vlad pieces, because as soon as you get it, then you'll really be able to jungle a lot better, including being able to take out Roshan pretty easily. One thing a lot of people don't realize is that Ursa's slow is really good. In fact, if I hadn't run support this game, getting those extra items like the Courier and Tango Clarity, Queen of Pain, I'd have a lot more mana regeneration, and I could be using Earthshock to help me jungle faster. I do that from time to time. But in this case, when I was just kind of roaming around just to see what was going on at bottom, and I wasn't really using my clarity because it seemed like Queen needed it more than me, so I gave it to her. I don't really have much mana to go around. But if I ran into any opportunities where I could stall the opponents, it'd really be helpful. And you'll see it come into play later. The Earthshock level is really helping out after I take down Roshan. Go for some kills on some enemy heroes. It worked out pretty good. So right now, the enemies are actually winning 3-0. We got 2 kills on Elder Titan, and 1 on, well, me. Wait, no, that's not right. It's 2-0. They need to fix that, because I suicided creeps. Shouldn't give a point to the opponents. But whatever. In War 3 Dota, it doesn't. It's a Dota 2 bug. There's all kinds of Dota 2 bugs right now. They need to fix them. That's just one of them. At this point, I almost have Vlads. I'm just itching to finish it. I probably should have been killing more ancients, but whatever. Like, let's try to make a kill on this guy. But totally can't get it. He is Earth Shocked, but it's only like level 1, so it doesn't do much. And she doesn't blink onto the high ground because she's pretty much out of mana, apparently. Actually, Nyx is doing pretty good for himself. He's got the boots and an old talisman. She doesn't have either of those. But she's got some unspent gold right now, so whatever. So I go ahead and grab her bottle too, just so somebody else can use the courier, like maybe Elder Titan if they need to. And plus, I knew that the opponents were coming to bottom. I didn't want the courier to be in danger either. So, yeah. She did ask for it by the time the courier returned. Hey, where'd my bottle go? And I told her, I got it. You can just come to me and I'll give it to you. So that's what she did. She came to me. So that's one thing that can help, you know, because I knew that they had wards over here. Just for me scouting it out earlier and them avoiding me and trying to prepare those big creeps to kill me. So, I figured they'd keep warding it, so gotta make sure keep the courier away from those wards. I don't want the enemies killing it. So it's kind of like a bottle bank, you could say. It seemed like he went farther than I thought he would, and my Earthshock missed him completely, but I still killed him, apparently. Either that or maybe he was still invulnerable, I don't know. Whatever the case. I got him in the end. So I'm going to make myself up with some phase boots, which will be pretty handy against this team, particularly against Tusk. Against the Tusk, he's going to try to trap you with those ice shards, and that's going to be a really sticky situation. I'd say no matter what hero you are, you're probably going to want phase boots against Tusk. So by this time, actually, Spirit Breaker's 4-0, so he's doing pretty good, rocking them pretty hard. I'm like, maybe I better get out of here. I'm like, hey guys, I'm gonna need some help. So I called them over, but they're not showing up. And at this point, Venomancer's been like raging all game long, right? And then when I die, he's like, I bet you're gonna complain about me not helping you. And I'm like, well, yeah, I told you to come. Like, I gave you plenty of advance warning that I needed your help. And he didn't. So I lectured him. And then he was like, okay, I'm going to mute you now. Which is funny, because he was snapping at his allies a lot. Besides me, the ones that were typing. But he didn't say that to any of them. So apparently he has a lower amount of tolerance for people that use voice chat. Which I thought was kind of peculiar. Another thing that is really weird is he goes Orb of Venom plus Scotty on Venomancer. Even though he's got like level 4 Poison Sting. Now, do people actually have both? Like when you use Scotty, do they have both on them? That seems like really strong if that's the case. I guess maybe they do. It's like all the rage lately, I suppose. Well, I guess it takes 2 attacks, which isn't all that big of a deal for an agility hero. Like, probably the first attack it's Poison Sting, after that it's Orb of Venom, and then maybe back to Poison Sting again, I don't know. Ugh, I have to slow it down a little bit just to confirm. Yeah, whatever. So at this point I'm getting initiated on by Tusk from the river because they've warded our ancients pretty much, but not enough so that way we can't keep killing them. Just enough so they could gank us if we're trying to do it. But unfortunately we were plenty prepared for that, or at least unfortunately for them. However, Nyx comes along. Now he's gonna have some fun. She uses Windrun though and is able to get out of his right click, but it's probably not going to be enough to save her. Uses Mana Burn on her. Quite a bit of action though all around. I'll kill her. Venomancer dies a Spirit Breaker. Spirit Breaker's now 6-0. So we're down by 3 kills. Other Titan is pretty much feeding, and so is Windrunner. Yet 3 of us are doing pretty good, so we're not shut out of the game yet. Interestingly enough, Spirit Breaker went for an armlet plus Mask of Madness. So if you could stun lock him, it'll be really easy to kill him. People underestimate how strong this guy's ultimate is. It's level 2, only takes 2 hits to bring her down. Even though she make attacks really slow, still take her out pretty quickly. Just a couple of hits, that's all it is. So now I pick up myself. I'm gonna go for a butterfly. Normally I don't go butterfly. I would normally go halberd. But I just decided to go for it this game. I think mostly because I knew that it was likely that Spirit Breaker would try to stun lock me. And if that's the case, more evasion is better than disarming him, because you can't disarm him if you're stun locked, obviously. So the more you evade, the better. I almost always get halberd on Ursa, but the only times I don't is when I go butterfly. I have to basically be really afraid of the right clicks for me to actually get the butterfly. Or like Spirit Breaker. Other than that, like maybe I'd get it against the Slark, but probably not. He's already really good against Slark. I don't think he needs something like a butterfly, but who knows. It never hurts to have evasion, but Heaven's Halberd is awesome too, so. Another thing to keep in mind is against BKB heroes like Spirit Breaker. I mean, it's good on him. Obviously, he doesn't have it, but he could have it. Your Heaven's Halberd could get disabled, or I mean, prevented from being used, I guess. Can't cast it on him if he's already activated Black King Bar. So at this point, it's kind of looking a little bit scary. I don't know how this guy got up there, but I mean, for these guys, they're in a lot of danger. Probably, oh, Queen of Pain blinked up there and he chased her down with a snowball. So Windrunner brings down the Spirit Breaker, we chase him down, and he's out. So already, this game's looking really winnable. I've run out of my Aegis, of course, and still, we're gonna rock these guys.
You and yours will not prevail.
So by now, I got like 5 kills, but like 2 deaths. More if you count losing Aegis, but whatever. I'm working pretty hard. Elder Titan looks like he's making a mechanism. If you keep yourself alive, the extra armor is definitely going to help. I'm not sure if it's the best item for him to get, but it's not bad. So, you know, we need to speed this up a bit. It's kind of slow. But what we got going on... She enchants Elder Titan illusion. So I guess he found an illusion rune at some point.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
So he couldn't get out of that ultimate fast enough. The Elder Titan ultimate will just trash you so hard. Even at level 1 it does a lot of damage. Kunkka throwing his boat and missing the enemies completely. Wow. This guy must be really bad. You know, at level 1 it's 120 damage. That's a lot for level 1 nuke. Oh my goodness. I saw one guy get like 2 points in Torrent, 4 points in Tidebringer, and then like 2 points in X. But I might just get 1 point in Torrent and a couple points in X. Along with the 4 points in Tidebringer. That sounds pretty solid to me. Only increased by 60 damage per level. Of course, the slow duration actually increases. So, having extra slow is nice. I didn't even realize it slowed. Well, yeah, the slow is going to help for landing your ghost ship, that's for sure. But you can still use X marks the spot to help you land your ghost ship, so... Just taking it for the damage is awesome. It's pretty amazing how that stomp will just stop that guy in his tracks. Anyways, now they're gonna run away. They're scared of the Ursa. I'm gonna take advantage of this.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Earth shock this guy, and he's done for. Misses the torrent completely. Earth shock him too. He's not getting away. See how effective this Earth shock is? Slow them down so they can't get away. Now I'm pretty much all out of mana though. So I just right click until I pop my Aegis. Unfortunately I have no attack speed items other than the one Iron Branch. It only adds a 1 attack speed. So as you can imagine it's kinda hard to kill these guys with no mana. But I am reviving. And I kind of thought it didn't need to be said, but I said so after I died. Hey guys, I'm reviving. So you can pretty much guess that I'm about ready to die. But I'm going to put out as much damage as I can before I go down. I actually take that guy out completely, and then damage that guy a little. She's able to get an easy kill. And she's gonna have a tough time against Nyx though, especially if somebody else comes in. So she pops her bottle and blinks away, and she's pretty much fine. Gonna go ahead and get out of there. But if she'd come a lot sooner, we could have killed them all. I probably would have survived. But oh well. I mean, she's a newbie. It's not that big of a deal. And Venomancer really is too, honestly. But Venomancer had a really bad attitude about it.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
As a Venomancer player, I would probably actually prioritize a Butterfly, because against that Spirit Breaker, you'll have the nice evasion. But I could say Iascati could be helpful too because give you a lot of bulk against Tusk and Nyx and Kunkun. So yeah, it's pretty handy, sure. I was planning on getting a heart, but I already spent so much gold on these other items that I never got around to buying it. A lot of it had to do with me just dying a whole lot. I've died like 3 times already, and 2 of those times I absolutely didn't need to die for sure. I'm not sure about the 3rd time. No, yeah, the 3rd time was just dying to creeps, so that doesn't count. So I've only died twice. Both of those times it could have been prevented.
Catacombs.
Nice.
I kiss the good doodah.
So I mean, I'm not really doing so bad. I've got the Vlad's phase and Butterfly completed. So I'm pretty powerful overall. But it's not like I'm exactly on the road to a heart already.
Killing spree.
Probably, I didn't exactly need to get an Ethereal Blade. But being the support player that I love to be, I decided to get one just for the sake of making sure I could keep my allies alive, you know? If you zap a Spirit Breaker, there's no way he can kill the person that he's attacking, right? Because you can't right-click them. So that's kind of what I was planning on doing. Of course, obviously, if he has Blacking Bar, it's not going to work, but whatever. Then one nice thing to consider is that I could only spend 1,600 gold and get the Ghost Scepter. Really easy. I normally get Halberd plus Ethereal. That tends to be my core. I think what I should have been doing is I should have been having a lot more sentry wards. I should have been planting them around everywhere. As soon as this guy hits level 6, he can go invisible like tons of times. And this guy's like, yeah, I didn't stun him, I better get away from him. I'm just biding my time until the next Roshan and waiting to use the courier maybe. I gotta sell something first. And as you can see, I placed this ward over here in the jungle. This is actually owned by the Almighty Council, so the Venomancer bought it, but he just left it there on the ground. So I picked it up when I got my butterfly. And then, as I was in their jungle, I went ahead and planted it at some point. So that's one thing people don't realize. If you're kind of a beefy hero, it might just be a pretty darn good idea for you to go ahead and plant those wards. I got spanked pretty hard by the Nyx plus boat, I guess it looks like. So that was like probably my worst fight. But to be fair, like everyone was stunning me pretty much. And this dude almost got a rampage. The one guy that I said is not a noob on our team. And now he's like 9-6. So he's got almost as many kills as me. He had a terrible start. He was like 0-5. But it wasn't all his fault. He had a terrible lane partner. It was, who was it, Windrunner? Yeah. Like, it probably wasn't all her fault. I mean, I'm sure she wasn't, like, trying to suck, but she just was sucky. But whatever. Actually, to be honest, I'd rather run the Queen of Pain solo middle. I mean, the Windrunner solo middle. Put the Queen of Pain up there. The other Titan. I think that would be really good. Because he's already got a stun, and Windrunner got a stun. Both of them are kind of a little unreliable though. Actually, I guess if you use their stuns right. No, they're both kind of unreliable. As long as you stay away from the trees, probably not getting shackled into an Echo Stomp. But if they do shackle you, if I was Elder Titan, I'd walk right up to the shackled guy and then stomp. That way I get the maximum damage from the stomp off, which is only like 160, but it's still kind of nice to have. But anyways, from then, I take my time in casting the ultimate or whatever.
Double damage.
I don't know, I guess it kind of sounds good on paper, but in a real game it's not really that effective. With Queen though, look at the cooldown on her Scare Me Pain, 7 seconds in 8 on Shadow Strike. So her nukes are pretty effective, and you keep a guy stunned for a long time with this guy's first skill. That gives her time for cooldown to come back up on her damage, her nukes. Compare that with her power shot. This cooldown at 9, so it's still pretty good, but not as good as it could be. Plus, it's a charge up spell. It takes a little while before she could shoot it, and it will do match some damage. So I honestly feel like Queen of Pain is a solid dual lane hero, but people just don't run it as a dual laner very much. Even she could do tri-lane, I bet. People just love to run her as solo mid just because it's a popular thing to do. Popular thing to do is not always the right thing to do. I think Windrunner with higher levels would really control the game very well. So by this time, Spirit Breaker's influence has really begun to drop off, and their team is looking like they're really in a pickle. I'm not sure what they can do. We do got a Dagon for Nyx, which would be kind of useful if I pop my Ghost Scepter. He could zap me pretty hard. So, you know, I'm not too sure about this gem purchase by my own hero. Maybe Sentry Wards would be better. I think if I was bulkier, like maybe if I made a Vanguard or was working on like a Heart or something. But that stun really screwed me over by Spirit Breaker just out of nowhere. This guy didn't see me, but it didn't matter. Spirit Breaker wasn't even trying to charge me. He was charging somebody else. But he's in a pickle himself, so he's running away. And Nyx was a bit of a problem for me. I probably didn't play that as smart as I could have. I might have been able to kill him, but I just couldn't. I think I panicked a bit because I wasn't sure what was going on. I decided, you know what, I'm pretty low on mana, I'm just gonna head back. I guess I was kind of annoyed that those guys were chasing that guy that they couldn't kill instead of coming to help me with Nyx. But for the most part, Ursa can handle himself. It's not that big of a deal. So we're kind of trying to take Roshan, but they kind of know we're trying to take him. But there's not a whole lot they can do to stop him now that we've got 5 and they got 4. Plus one of them's up here, so yeah. Just gonna throw some AoE at us just to let us know that, hey, we care. Not like we can do anything about it, but we wish we could do something about it. And then Kunkka wasn't really helping out. Just totally bails on Tusk. And I think that was kind of a really critical mistake. By this point, I feel like they've lost the game. Like, they've really lost all composure as a team. And I don't feel like they're going to make a comeback at all as I was playing this game. Yet I do go on to underestimate them a little here and there. Spirit Breaker is still pretty much out of control. But I mean, just one hero is not enough to win a game. It's never enough. Well, the only times where it's enough is when your opponents really suck. And I obviously don't really suck, so yeah. One thing to keep in mind, although Black King Bar will prevent Ursa from Earth shocking you, it's not going to stop his Fury Swipes. His Fury Swipes will cut right through that Black King Bar. So, if you're an Ursa, you might want to consider getting an Abyssal Blade if Black King Bars are really annoying you. Because then you just stun him, and then he's so screwed. There's no running away then. You're stuck for a couple seconds with the Abyssal Blade. The Basher's just so good on Ursa anyway, so it's not really a bad investment. I honestly feel like there's a ton of good items on Ursa. There's not any one item build to rule them all or whatever. I mean, he's a pretty cool hero that's more flexible than many players are willing to give him credit for. She overkills Nyx. What a noob. She barely survived too. She'd run away now. So anyway, I go ahead and run away. Well, this time I've finished my ethereal. I want to grab an invisibility rune. I should probably be waiting out the Roshan so I can grab another Aegis. But honestly, we probably don't even have to. Got a huge advantage. You could probably push top and end it. But I don't think we're going to, looking by the replay timer. Manages to pop his Black King Bar and activate his Mask of Madness. That's a pretty insane combo. Your Black King Bar, so you're immune to magic, so they can't slow you, for example, or stun you. And then you activate your Mask of Madness so you run away, so they can't really close in on you. That's pretty solid. I'd really recommend it for a strength hero though. If you're in agility or intelligence, you're not going to make use of the plus 10 damage from Ogre Axe. It might not sound like it's much, but every bonus damage when you have a Mask of Madness is going to make a difference. Because that's all you're missing pretty much after all that attack speed, you're just missing damage. So at this point I dropped my gem, so basically my allies bought off more than they could chew, and I involved myself too much into it. And I'm pretty annoyed at this point, but it's not that big of a deal.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
As you can see, none of them are actually carrying the gem. Kunka's got the Shadow Blade, which was pretty much the primary reason I bought it, because I was tired of Kunka just cleaving my allies to death. And apparently they weren't grateful enough to be able to, like, not get themselves stuck in ridiculous situations. And as you can see, I ended up trying to help bail them out, but it wasn't good enough. So actually bought himself up a scepter, and now he's gonna go for a Scotty. That's pretty interesting. I wonder if people would ever consider doing this on, like, Night Stalker. I don't think Night Stalker needs all that much mana. Venomancer, however, his spells cost a ton of mana, so it's not such a bad pickup, I guess, after a scepter. I mean, if it's slow stacked, just fine. It just takes a couple of hits, that's all fine and dandy. So I basically pick up some wards at this point, and that's going to be our way to deal with the invisible heroes.
Illusion.
Yeah, clearly a problem here because they got this observer ward up here, and I probably should have guessed they would have one here. And I thought they did, but I kind of didn't really care. I didn't really have time to plant my own observer ward to check it. Even if I did, I couldn't de-ward it myself because I wasn't ranged. So I just plant my sentry ward here and just chill here, waiting for the opponents to come. And come they sure do. So as you can see, they see me from the observer ward, and they charge right at me. I'm like, oh no, I'm being charged. So I dragged them a little bit closer to the sentry ward. Here comes some allies, that guy with his spirit, and then of course he's gonna pop his ultimate. She's gonna pop her ultimate, and then BAM! That's a lot of damage from that guy's ultimate. So you can see, I lost my hero like pretty much right away, but we basically won the team fight very easily. We killed all of them. We only lost a couple people.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
So it's amazing how much difference this one sentry ward will make. Maybe if they'd held on to that gem, they could have, instead of destroying it, they could have used it against us and destroyed our sentry ward there. But they didn't. Or they could have even just planted their own sentry ward there and destroyed it. But they were too concerned about destroying Ursa right away. I feel like when I play this hero, it's just kind of saying to the opponents, come at me, bro. That's what I really like about him, is I always play that way. I'm always like as aggressive as possible, and like a hero that can handle his own and force the enemy to cast like pretty much all their spells on you. That's just awesome to me. Like, that's a tank, and that's kind of how I play Ursa. I play him as a tank. And that's not to say that I necessarily build a lot of health, although I will. In this particular instance, I didn't. There's no heart. Generally speaking, I get a halberd though, but this time I just got a lot of damage. And I really didn't need all that extra damage, but I got it anyway. Because I knew, with plus like 100 attack speed with these items, that's pretty sick. And when you don't have overpower, you're still going to be attacking really fast. So check this out. Okay, and power's down, and I'm stunned. Look how fast I'm attacking. Bam, 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 bam. So it's still pretty fast, isn't it? Kill him pretty darn quick. So of course there's lots of goodies for the opponents. I'm dropping Town Portal Scrolls, Observer Wards, Cheese. Allies can pick that stuff up. So yeah, I'm holding on to my Sentry Wards because nobody else has them on my team. So that's kind of what you have to do when you guys support your team. I told Windrunner I want her to get her Monkey King bar. So obviously she's going to save up for it as best as she can. So it's up to me to buy them Sentry Wards. Once you get that Monkey King bar, she'll be hitting pretty much as hard as me with her ultimate. That's weird. How'd I go up into the air? How much damage I do. Oh yeah, another thing, Enchantress. That's another good reason for more attack speed. Even with overpower, she's going to reduce your attack speed by a lot. I'm not even joking, look at that. 110. But you just gave yourself plus 100 attack speed, right? So you basically nullify it completely with your, so you still have your, like, basically your almost your only minus 10 attack speed if you have overpower on. So that's not bad. So don't underestimate Butterfly and Ethereal Blade against the Enchantress. It's a pretty cool combo. She still goes down pretty fast. Now, of course, you could always get a Mask of Madness. That's only 2,000 gold. That's definitely very viable against Enchantress. But, kind of think it's not so good on Ursa because, the lifesteal is not going to stack with the Fury Swipes, right? So, it seems really weak to me. I'd rather be Fury Swiping than lifestealing. I mean, I get lifesteal with Vlads anyways, so... I'd rather just spend the gold on the agility items. Which will give me some armor too, which is not bad. Look, I have more agility and bonus than I do natural. So that's a lot of armor. So that's another good reason just not to get the halberd, even though halberd's nice. It's not going to give you any attack speed. So I would almost always get a halberd, but the only times I don't is when I get the butterfly. Because give you a 60 attack speed is helpful against Enchantress. So I planted that Sentry Ward there, and I planted another one, so I emptied my inventory of my wards. that's what you want to do. You want to be holding the awards by the end of the game like that Tusk was doing. Of course, he lost the game, so what choices do you have, right? Or whatever. So he was the one who threw me up into the air. Wow, that's such a weird item for a Tusk. I can't say I approve of that. I think that's silly. Whatever. Well, that's just fine, I guess. Anyway, that's that. Let's go ahead and check out my Enchantress game. I'm sure I'll have built completely different items from her, right? Yeah, I really don't like those items on her. Urn is not as effective on her as you'd think it would be. She needs way more health than that. And way more mana regen too. That's like practically nothing for her. I'll show you how I played her. At least it was apparently really good. A lot better than my Ursa game. Although a lot of it I think had to do with my allies being a lot better than that game. We've already gone over that. I had 3 noob allies. Apparently somebody besides me liked this. I'm pretty sure it wasn't me. Let's see. I should say 2 if I thumb it up right. Maybe I did thumb it up. Huh? I don't know, maybe it's bugged. Whatever. Oh, maybe I watched it. I don't think I was watching it. Maybe I just did the in-game scoreboard, who knows. Whatever. I honestly didn't enjoy that Ursa game all that much, but I think I probably rated it kind of good anyway. It was frustrating because my allies weren't that good, but I wasn't really like rude or anything for the most part. This game I found a little bit more enjoyable, but I really have to wonder how good my opponents were, and I guess I'm about to find out now that I'm going to watch the replay. So go ahead and speed this up for a bit. So this was actually random draft rather than single draft, and this I believe was regular matchmaking instead of solo matchmaking. Since it was random draft, I did notice right away that there weren't very many intelligence heroes in the pool. In fact, there were only like 4 of them. So I decided to go ahead and pick one, just to make sure that our team would more than likely have a very well balanced lineup, and maybe pick up some slack where the opponents might not necessarily do well. And I hadn't played Enchantress for a while, and I felt like I could do better than I did with her previously. Like I felt like I had difficulty playing her in Dota 2. Mostly due to some of the burst damage heroes, like Magnus in particular, who was actually in the draft. So I took it as kind of a bit of a challenge, because I didn't know if the opponents would pick Magnus or not. But apparently our allies picked Magnus, and that made things a lot easier for me. I did complain about the burst damage, so maybe that was something that made him feel like he wanted to pick it. Another reason he might have wanted to pick it was to make sure that they didn't get it with their anti-mage being empowered. That would be really nasty. But anyways, an empowered skeleton king can be really scary. Definitely not a bad pick. And it's always nice to have a Magnus on your team. So although we've selected our heroes, we haven't put them back out onto the map yet, not all of us anyway. Let's take this off of directed.
Prepare for battle.
Okay, anyways, we got Enchantress here. And I decided to go ahead with 3 gauntlets, because they have tiny, for crying out loud. An ogre, and omni. Lots of burst. Actually, I wasn't complaining about the burst until after Magnus picked his hero and those guys picked theirs, but yeah, I'm sure he was feeling reassured about his hero choice at that point. Yeah, he probably just picked it because it's a really popular and awesome hero and competitive. So Weaver's like, get out of my lane, whoever it was that was trying to follow him. I think it was Skeleton King, or maybe it was Centaur. He's like, I'm solo bottom. And this guy's like, I'm gonna go gank, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna solo mid then while you're ganking. So I'm up against Tiny, but no fear. Okay, let's see what happens here. Comes up behind him. Or Shockwave, like a Skeleton King stun, a Centaur stun or something. Oh, this guy's almost dead. One more Shockwave for the kill. Awesome. Not bad at all. Okay, let's see how well I did on the last hit. One for me and one for Tiny. Hey, Tiny got 3 denies. That's pretty good. Good for him. He's kicking my butt. Well, there he got another last hit. Wow, he's just awesome. He's on the ball. Well, I wasn't really planning on laning in the middle. Even if I was, I probably still wouldn't have gotten any damage, because I still would have needed the gauntlets. But by the time I left the lane, I had 3 last hits. That's not so terrible. And he's only got 2 himself. So it's mostly due for me harassing him. After I got some nice licks in against him, that pushed him back. That made it a lot easier for me to get some last hits, because he was just denying after deny after deny. That was annoying. And at this point, since I was laning, I didn't pick up my enchant yet for jungling. So I'm like, okay, Weaver, I gotta leech some experience. Hope you don't mind, buddy. So, and thankfully I didn't have to leech very much. I was almost level 3 already. So I get my level 3 and I'm gonna jungle. So I actually pulled this, so now I'm able to take this pretty quickly with this big creep. Take out these golems, which is really gonna accelerate my farm pretty well. I stun this guy, I'm like, get off my case, punk. He's like, oh, get out of here. So that's pretty cool. Able to jungle without too much difficulty in enemy jungle. I probably could have kept it up, but I didn't want to push my luck too much. Weaver bought his own wards and planted them, I believe. Yeah.
Where are you going?
And I picked up the curve, of course. So we're both supporting in our own way. I try to kill this guy, so I stun him, but Magnus isn't quite on the ball, although I think it was because he was kind of suffering a bit. Now this guy decided to chase me down, but he's not going to have such a fun time doing that. Won't be able to get away without too much trouble at all.
Nature attend us.
And although I pretty much run out of mana, I'm pretty much fine. So that's nice about having a healing hero like that. I really like her over Omni Knight when it comes to healing early game, just because her only one level just does so much. And I could just max out and then untouchable and just be really great for jungling. I'm not sure how awesome Omni Knight is at jungling, but I should try it sometime. Anyway, I see that these guys could be in some trouble. I'm trying to finish off these guys, so I decided to come try to help out. But then I realized there isn't a whole lot I can do, so I back off. And apparently the opponents have very similar rewards to what we have. But then now we've got some sentry wards down to guard them. No wait, that's theirs, right. So they seem to be spending more money on wards than us.
I hate this battle. They who live by the wand shall die by my blade.
Sentai Mage gets a pretty nice kill on this guy. Probably frustrates him quite a bit. I grab this big creep and I figure, I'm gonna put some pressure on Tiny and make him back off, and sure enough he does back off. And try to push the tower a bit too, stomp these creeps, bring their health low. Go ahead and pull the creep back so he doesn't die to the tower in case Tiny wants to acquire experience from it. So basically when you jungle, you don't poke your head back out of it, especially when you're like Enchantress. Because when you steal these creeps, they don't last very long anyway. Yeah, I just suicide that creep against these guys instead of the tower. That way I get a lot of damage in against these golems, so I can kill it pretty quickly overall, along with that centaur in that short time that he was alive. So not just attacking the creep wave, but jungle with it too. Not just jungle with it, but attack the creep wave as well. Be able to get a little bit of pushing power in. Every little bit helps, especially when your ally has like shockwave. You can throw a shockwave with the creeps too to help bring them down. That's always good. So the tower, it's like only 2/3 health left, which is pretty nice while our tower's sitting at full. So at this point, I actually grabbed the small creep because I'm wanting to start farm up a little bit faster, and that big creep is worth more experience and gold than the small one is. So that's why I steal the small one. So I've seen even pro players and at the international too. They didn't even do this. Like when you want to farm up, you gotta steal the small one because the bigger one's worth more experience. So at this point, I'm like level 6. I'm not really far behind Anti-Mage or Tiny or Magnus, and I'm even with everyone else on my team for experience. Whereas I'll see people at the international playing their Enchantress, they fall behind in levels. But not me. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to keep stealing them to help the high experience guys all game long. See, and I steal a small one again. So I'm going to take out this guy. He's level 6 Satyr Tormentor. So he's worth quite a bit. Look at that. Now I'm almost level 7 after picking that guy off. Skeleton King pop his ultimate. He's got that vampiric aura. He knows what's up. Some Skeleton King players, they skip it. This guy did put 1 point in his attribute bonus, but only 1. Some people put like 2 or 3 or 4, and that's just ridiculous. I don't know if I like putting 1 point in it, but it's not bad. If it's only 1, it's definitely not bad at all. Because you need 1 by level 15 anyway before you can finish maxing your ultimate. You might as well get 1 early if you feel like it. Putting more than that's kind of silly, but it might not necessarily be bad. It often depends on what hero you're playing, and also the situation. So we've actually got a centaur on his team. Managed to kill off an anti-mage. And at this point, I was pressuring the tower. I stunned this guy with a centaur to try to kill him. And when centaur popped his ultimate, I think maybe the opponents would think that he's charging after Treant to follow him up with a stun and then his stun. But that's not the case at all. He's bottom. So I don't know if that was a mind game on my part or not. But if it was, more power to me. I just love being aggressive. So I got the big wolf in this case. It's actually because I like the extra damage that it gives me. Look at that, plus 21 damage. Not to be underestimated at all. I don't even have any damage items either, just 2 branches. So this wolf, look at that, that's insane. And like go from like 73 to 94. That's pretty awesome. Let's look at the gloves of gold, so that fast attack speed, I'm really rocking that damage output. I'm doing tons of damage to the tower. Although it does die eventually. So that's kind of sad. The creep wave shows up anyway. So if I'd kept attacking the tower, it would have just started hitting me. But I start to let it hit me anyway, because I don't care. So how's Tiny doing anyway? He still doesn't even have boots. He does have a bottle, but I'm not sure how he thinks he's gonna grab the runes with that without boots. Or blink dagger or whatever. Wow, okay, I am convinced. Our enemies really were terrible. This was awful, Tiny. He should have been doing way better. This is ridiculous. Well, I mean, it's not like I was making it easy on him. I was bugging the crap out of him. And Magnus is just running all over the map ganking people, making it difficult for Tiny.
Well off.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
What he needs to be able to do is get close enough to toss me. But how is he supposed to do that when I have boots and he doesn't? Wait, no I don't. I bought phaser boots though, I just haven't delivered him yet. Because I want to get some wards up. Because other people have been buying wards. Who? No, it's just been Weaver so far. He's bought 2 packs of wards.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
So he's been supporting as a Weaver. And this is one thing that I keep telling people. When you're a carry, yeah, quote unquote carry, you still gotta support. It doesn't matter. Everyone's gotta carry, everyone's gotta support. Words like carry and support are just words that bad players make up to oversimplify the game. Dota is a lot more complicated than a lot of players are willing to give it credit for.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
And oversimplifying everyone's role into carry and support is just obnoxiously dumb. So this Weaver, yeah, he's building damage items because he wants to kill people. And that's exactly what he's doing. He's got 4 kills, the most of anyone on our team. That's exactly what he should be doing. But he's also getting wards, which is also something he should be doing. Everyone needs to learn from this guy. In fact, I'm going to add this guy to friends. At least invite him and see if he accepts. Because that is something that I was doing as Ursa. I was getting some wards up. Of course, I probably wasn't buying him as much as he was, but whatever. I did pick up my own wards, owned by me, because it didn't say owned by, right? It's owned by the person that's holding it. And I go ahead and plant some eventually. That's because I finished my gloves of haste and my boots of choice. So I'm comfortable with not dying at this point to buy my own wards. And I was assisting plenty, so it's not like I wasn't helping out, for sure. I was like helping Magnus get a kill on Tiny and everything, so I do get nuked a little bit there, but then I pop my heal right away, which is level 4 by now, by the way. People overestimate Enchant early game. Enchant is great, but so this guy chases me down, but we easily kill him. At this point, I'm 005. That is really supporting hard. Support is not always about buying the wards, I assure you. And this 005 is just evidence of that. Anyway, yeah, Nature's Attendance is swell. It's great. I would definitely level that up over Enchantress like every time. Even though it costs more mana per level, it's definitely worth it.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Even though the heal is amazing at level 1, and I'm going to max out my Untouchable first, I'm generally speaking going to be matching out Nature's Attendant first. Maybe as I play her more often, I'll find more flexible ways to play her in certain lineups. But I mean, in this game, I think this was definitely the way to go. I think it was pretty solid. So I planted one ward here, and another one there. So I got both rune spots warded. They're gonna pressure this tower. Skeleton King gonna revive over here. I'm gonna
Dire's top
charge in here at some point and help out. Try to kill this anti-mage. He's able to barely get away. Centaur pop is ultimate. It's gonna help out quite a bit. I'm kind of in a pickle because I'm kind of separated from my allies and there are 4 enemies. But I'm not too worried because our tower still has plenty of health. And Omni Knight starts to make a move on me, but thankfully Magnus comes in just in time to help me out and blinks to me and skewers Omni Knight away from me, which is exactly what I needed. So all that supporting that I did for him is really paying off, as now he's starting to support me. So teamwork is nothing that people should frown on. I just can't stand people that only try to carry and they don't get it through their heads that you need to teamwork. You need to, like, quote-unquote, support your allies so that they can, quote-unquote, support you. The name of the game is teamwork, not carry or support. People just don't understand that everyone's got to help. I helped out Magnus, and now he's been helping me out. And as a result, I got 1 kill out of all that. I'm not sure exactly who I killed, probably Omni Knight, but whatever. Got 8 assists, more than anyone in the game. And Magnus isn't doing so bad himself. He's 326, which is pretty nice. It's over 4 KDR. It's 9 divided by 2. It's like 4.1 or something KDR. Anyway, by this time I bought up quite a few boosters and I completed a soul booster. So I started off with the vitality booster, and then I had enough money saved up from that huge fight that I was able to pick up the other 2 boosters. So that's pretty nice. You should never underestimate
Healing power.
heroes that can heal. Because they're awesome. You can keep them from dying. That's just swell because you can buy tons of items. Like a hero that's never died and has a bloodstone. That is so scary. If they ever kill you, you're gonna revive pretty fast anyway. I probably wouldn't always get a bloodstone on Enchantress, but I think it's a really solid item for her and a lot of other support heroes. So by this time we pretty much have like full map control. We haven't lost any towers and we've taken 3 of theirs so far. Things are looking really good for us. We've got over double their kills. We almost have triple their kills in fact. Just a couple more kills than we would. And nobody's said anything in all chat yet, but I'm pretty sure there's going to be some trash talk at some point.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Anyway, I buy up a Voidstone at the shop over there, and I come over here to buy the other Bloodstone part. And then I'm going to have the wards purchased to me whenever whoever's done with the courier's done. Or I mean using the courier is finished. So, Anti-Mage just starts chatting. And then our team starts talking a bunch. Mostly Weaver. Because he was Anti-Mage's lane opponent, I guess. He figures he has the most relevant things to say. So I feel like they're kind of sloppy about killing that Skeleton King. If Anti-Mage gets enough mana breaks off on this guy, maybe they could bring him down. Although, he does have the Soul Ring, so he'd really have to be on top of him with that last attack. So Soul Ring is not particularly reliable against Anti-Mage, because he can still break through it, but it doesn't look like he's doing it. I was making a complaint about Trait Particular not having maxed out his third skill, which I think is a little silly. I mean, sure, yeah, it should be maxed out because it's stronger, but it's still plenty stronger than level 2. I mean, level 3. Wait, where's this hero anyway? I mean, it blocks an extra 20 damage, but it still has the same damage instances. I don't know, things are out of control, and I think people are just looking for ways to insult people at this point. I mean, the guy's underleveled, get him a break. It's not like you put a point into attribute bonus. This guy's maxed out all his first 3 skills, but it's because he's level 15. Like I said, he only put 1 point into attribute bonus, and that's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It might be a little silly, but more than 1, there's nothing wrong with putting 1 into it early. I don't care how early it is. Okay, maybe level 1 is pretty stupid, but whatever. Back in the old days, there was actually a guide that recommended you put 1 point in your attribute bonus as a Soulkeeper. He's not out in Dota 2 yet though, but I definitely wouldn't recommend that. But it might not be such a terrible idea. Anyway, we've got like over 4 times their kills now. They don't even have 10 kills, so it's looking really sad for them.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle barracks are under attack.
So by this point, they're just chilling in their fountain, so the game's basically over. Well, I mean, I'm 3-0-13, and there's still time on the clock. I'm pretty sure I get at least a couple more kills at some point. But some of them are definitely still chilling in their base, in the fountain. But Tiny doesn't seem to have given up yet. He's gonna try to kill Skeleton King. Let's see if he can do it. Toss him up in the air, but he's gonna revive with his ultimate. Is this guy gonna slow him, maybe? There we go. Oh, but he's gonna run away instead of attacking him. I'm not sure if that's the right thing to do. And he's not rooting him with his ultimate either. Which he should be doing right about now. Wow, Trant, use your ultimate! 0 assists. I have to say, I'm extremely disappointed in this Trant Protector. Yeah, that is really sad. Oh my goodness. What is that? Could have used his ultimate and he didn't. Maybe he's just a newbie. But that is... You should know. Your ultimate would have helped Tiny kill Skeleton King. You're not able to attack when you're rooted. And if Skeleton King can't attack Tiny, that means he can't lifesteal. Which means his survivability goes down the drain. Now his ultimate's back up and he's fine and dandy. So by this point, both Enchantress and Skeleton King are 5 and 0. Oh, somebody was chasing me around into the trees, and I killed him. That was pretty awesome. And by this time, I finished my scepter. So things are really looking up for us. Don't clump against a Magnus, I think he was trying to say. Yeah. What you gotta do against Magnus is throw heroes at him like Shadow Fiend. Because you wanna 1v1 him Although the problem with Shadow Fiend is once Magnus gets like a Mask of Madness or something, then it's just like stun Shadow Fiend and just right click him to death. So you gotta build your hero durably. And you gotta be tricky too.
Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack. Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Oh, Omni-Knight trash talking is out.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
No, I think he's going against Weave.
Radiant's top barracks has fallen.
He's had to that Battle Fury for quite a while, actually. I don't think the trash talk's appropriate. No, Anti-Mage tried. He did pretty good.
Radiant's middle
I
tower
feel like
is under attack.
Omni, Tiny, and Treant were the ones that really held the team back.
Radiant's
I don't know how
top
good
barracks
Ogre was either, to be honest.
The Dire now have
It's pretty
the
sucky.
leads.
But whatever.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Tiny's gonna troll that guy. Wow, look at that. The whole team is full of trolls.
Is under attack.
I want to actually report Tiny and Treant. I don't know if it's even worth it.
Radiant's
I feel like reporting people is like rewarding them.
Once is never enough.
I don't know.
All bonds will break.
Dire victory.
It's like, if that Treant Protector was on my team, I really would have given him quite the lecture. So overall, I'm pretty annoyed with matchmaking. Like, this wasn't really all that exciting of a game, but I do kind of feel like I performed with my hero kind of well. But that's like my impression after one game. How about I play this hero like 5 times straight? I'm probably gonna get frustrated because I'm gonna deal with people like that Train Protector as my teammate eventually. That's not very exciting. 050, no thank you. I don't want that for my ally. But of course, everyone's terrible score is a result of the team. It's all a team contribution. If it wasn't for the rest of his team being so bad, maybe he would have gotten a better score. But, I don't know. Whatever. He's still a newbie. At least. If not a troll entirely. I don't know if it's worth reporting him for being a newbie. There's probably not at all. But for being a troll, yeah, so it'd be hard to tell if he's your opponent. Is he a troll or a newbie? I just don't know. Because I wasn't examining him, of course, because I wasn't his, I wasn't in his lane. I was bothering Tiny. And Tiny, well, I wasn't making it easy for him, and neither was Magnus. But Tiny, although I'm sure he wasn't a newbie, he obviously was a troll because he tossed Ogre Magi out of the fountain. That's ridiculous. In fact, I am going to report Tiny. Because you really shouldn't be doing something like that. Unfortunately, I can't do it in a replay. So it's kind of awkward. But, I should be able to do it now. Yeah. I'm gonna do it. Yeah! So, I hope you enjoyed this, game. Phone is out. Tossing him out. Well, maybe I shouldn't do this. I mean, after all, I don't know if maybe there was some kind of rage between those two, but I don't enjoy fountain farming, and this is like them trying to encourage us to fountain farm. I just don't like it. So, like making fun of his allies by doing that, I don't like that. Yeah, so trolling his ally by tossing him out of the fountain and in game to make him die more. That's pretty much that. And there's one of my 2 reports for the week. Woo! I feel comfortable reporting them just because I've been playing such a little amount of Dota lately that instead of reporting my allies, I'm just gonna start reporting my opponents. See how that goes. Because if I report my allies, they're gonna be like, "Rage report you back, punk! Now you're global immunity or whatever." That's not gonna work out so well. Even if I don't talk to my opponents, they're not gonna even they're not gonna suspect that I'm reporting them, right? Unless, of course, they're watching my videos. But whatever. Is anyone gonna watch all the way through this double replay commentary? I don't think so, to the end. If they do, that'd be pretty funny. Alright, Tiny, you've been reported, and hopefully a match